The Iranian regime bombed southern Israel's main hospital, while Israeli defense officials are claiming Iran has now started using cluster bombs to target civilian populations. Well, Israeli Consul General Israel Bahar joins us now. So, Mr. Bahar, what can you tell us about this attack on the hospital?
Well, Beersheba Hospital is located in the Negev, which is the southern part of Israel, where there are so many diverse communities that lives there. So there are Israelis, Israeli Jews, there are Arab Israelis, a huge population that lives there. There's Bedouins who lives there. There are Christians communities who lives in the south of Israel, and all are being served with the same hospitals. There are Arab doctors, Israeli Arab doctors, that are in this hospital managing different departments. So it's a very large medical center in the southern part of Israel, which was attacked directly by very dangerous and lethal weapons that Iran sent to the hospital. It was directed with a specific goal to kill as many Israelis as possible. And it's unfortunate because hospitals are a place that's saving life and not taking life. And what this radical regime is doing, it's in purpose trying to kill as many people as they can in a hospital when they know that it is a great violation of any international law, and they know that's going to create a mass killing.
Well, the report coming out on different websites is that Iran has now started using cluster bombs, which obviously ups the ante when it comes to dangers to civilian areas. What does this signify to you that the regime is now using cluster bombs?
It means that they are under a very under pressure militarily and probably also psychologically. So they are trying to achieve a different goal, which is to put Israeli civilians under psychological pressure to demand that we are going to stop the attack on Iran. So we're not going to stop the attacks on Iran as long as we didn't accomplish our goal. Two goals. One, to dismantle the nuclear program and make sure that this radical regime does not have a nuclear weapon that threats New York, Israel, or Europe. Two, to dismantle as much as we can the ballistic missile program, that which also it is an existential threat to Israel. Not only the nuclear bomb is an existential threat. Here is the math or the physics. Each 10,000 ballistic missiles is roughly equivalent to an atomic bomb. The Iranians were running to build this arsenal, 10,000 ballistic missiles, that part of them were supposed to be ICBM, meaning intercontinental ballistic missiles that can reach Boston and that can reach New York. So we are stopping it by attacking Iran and making sure that they're not going to have this lethal weapon. They're extremely dangerous to Israel, and Israel cannot stand an attack of 7,000 or 9,000 ballistic missiles. This is going to extend Israel. It's going to create great distraction, and we cannot allow it to happen. So this is at the 11th hour, really the 11th hour, that we are stopping and making sure that not only Israel, but only the free world is going to be safer.
So obviously, social media isn't the best place to hear rational voices sometimes. But if you go on social media, the TikToks and YouTube comment sections, you're going to hear something. And as a representative of the state of Israel, I feel like it's only right to ask you to bring this to your attention and for you to have a chance to respond, which is this. A lot of folks on social media, again, will say, hey, listen, Iran blowing up or trying to blow up an Israeli hospital, Iran using cluster bombs against civilian populations. In a way, this is sort of justified because Israel bombed hospitals in Gaza and, killed civilians in Gaza. And so there's a equivocation happening. How would you respond to that?
Very simple, with basic factual truth. And here are the facts. One, Israel never bombed a hospital. Two, Israel never bombed a hospital when there are patients inside the hospital. What we did do is the following. We created specific raids with our personnel getting into the hospital, foot with our soldiers, getting the terrorists out, and leaving the place. We never bombed an operating hospital in Gaza. Never, ever. And we're never going to do it. Under the hospitals in Gaza, there were major terror infrastructures. The last infrastructure that we took out, which was, I think, in Khan Yunis, it was a massive tunnel infrastructure of terrorist center and command facilities and headquarters. But we never did bomb any hospital, and we never will. It's not who we are, what we're standing for. We are human. And also, we believe in God. And when we believe in God, we're never going to take a life of a patient in a hospital. But on the contrary, the Iranians sent a targeted missile, ballistic missile, towards a civilian hospital in Israel to kill as many Jews as they can in Israel. It is not only that it's not unaccepted from the international law, also from a human point of view, you cannot do such a thing. You cannot bomb hospitals. But this is radical regime with a very radical, extreme ideology. And unfortunately, it's a radical Islam ideology that for them, it's a culture of death. If they're going to kill as more Jews that they can kill, in their eyes, they're making their belief or their religious goals accomplished. It's sick, it's sickening, and it's completely not the word of God.
Well, let me ask you this one last question. Obviously, you're in the United States right now, serving as the Israeli Consul General. You're doing your job, doing outreach to the United States. But what are your friends and family telling you life is like back in Israel, where every night they're sleeping in bomb shelters, there's hospitals being hit, there's people dying in Tel Aviv and Bat Yam. What are your friends and family telling you life is like the past week in Israel?
Sleepless night. People are not sleeping. That's the truth. A lot of people are under pressure. Every night there are sirens. It's not easy. People cannot go to work. People cannot go to shop. There's no schools. Kids are at home under a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. So, to be a kid in Israel these days, in the last 2 years, it's horrible. It's not easy. They experienced the massacre of October 7th. Then we have a war. Then we have ballistic missiles firing next to your home, to your neighborhoods. It's very stressful for kids. It's not easy for adults. So imagine kids who are 12, 15 years old, that their whole childhood it's under bomb shelters. That's what it is. Are we in the Second World War, where there was the Blitz on London or other cities in Europe? We're in 2025, but we are dealing with a regime that probably the clock stopped for them in the medieval time. They don't understand what is a Western democracy. They don't understand what is Western values, let alone, I'm not even talking about human rights, basic human rights or women rights or LGBTQ rights. They're not even there. I'm not even talking about the basic human rights. You know what? The basic human right just to live in dignity, also that they don't give to their own people. To their own people, they don't do it. It's an oppressor, a very oppressor regime that even for its own people is very rude. It is very bloodthirst against his own people. So I don't have any expectation that this regime, not Iranian people, by the way, this regime is going to be a Western democracy. But I do have a minimum of expectation as a religious people, that they're religious people, to read the Word of God in a manner that you respect any other human being in this world. We're all created by God, and we're equal by God. They cannot change the Word of God and make it a radical Islam bloodthirst campaign to kill as many Jews as they want and many Christians as they can.
Well, I appreciate your time. You are an extraordinarily busy man, but Israel Bachar, God bless and stay safe, my friend.
And thank you for the American people for standing with Israel and standing with humanity to stop this radical regime.